Have you been wondering what the new Stampin Hot Foil system is like? Well, today I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to show you what comes with it, how you can make a card, give you some tips and ideas on how you can use it, and so you can see if it's right for you. Hi, I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Auckland, New Zealand. I help beginner and everyday crafters build confidence with making handmade cards through simple projects and tips and ideas. Thank you for joining me today, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Now, I have had some issues with the recording earlier today, so this is actually, with the live, this is actually a recording of that, so hopefully it works better this time. So I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you learn some things and are excited like me about this new hot foil system. Let's check it out. So have you seen this yet? Have you ever tried foiling before, or is this fairly new to you? So this is the Stampin' Up hot foil system. So we've got here the main part of the system. It is sitting on a silicone mat to protect it from the heat. We've got a power cord here, which is at the moment heating up. So I've plugged it in. It's flashing red, and it'll beep when it's heated up. It'll take about 6 minutes to heat up initially. So you just got to turn on a bit. We also have got this mat here, so when we take our hot dies off, we can put them on here. We have this, which is a magnet for helping pick up the dies. So for example, if we put this down and then it's hot, we can lift it up with this, push the button to release it, and then put it over there, and it's on a protected silicone mat. We also have these. We have the hot foil shim and also the hot foil spacer. So they are all part of the system that you get when you purchase the hot foil system. Now, obviously, to make it work, we need a couple of other things as well. So I'll show you those. So this comes all together, packaged up, and that is 337 New Zealand dollars. And then obviously you're going to need some foils. So they come in a box with two. So this is 2 golds, a roll here. Now I've been using quite a bit, and I've still got, quite a bit to go. So we have gold, we have silver, and we also have pink, which is quite exciting. Here is the pink one as well. So today I'm going to use the gold. Now, to be able to use it, you also need some dies that work with the hot foil system. So you may have a die like, where is it? This one here, which work on their own in the sense of there is a die for the foiling, and then there's also a die for cutting out the shape afterwards. So you'll see the foil, and then there are the shapes for cutting it out, and they come together. There are some that come together as a bundle. So this one here has a stamp set, and then it also has the foiling dies. So that's what we're going to use today to make a card. Another one here, which is just the dies. So we've got here the foiling, and these ones cut it all out. This one here is a little bit more. We've got dies for cutting out, and there are also some masks, so you can do some sponging and colouring of the butterflies as well. Oh, did you hear that beep? So now it's gone solid, and that's flashing, so it's ready to use. So here you can see these are the hot foil dies, and then these ones are for cutting it out, plus some extras. So to be able to use this, you need to use dies that are specifically designed for foiling to make sure the technique works. So let me just show you a quick couple of cards I've made. This will automatically turn off after 15 minutes. So if you kind of forget, it will turn off. So that's a good safety device. But ideally, we want to turn it off when we're finished. I'll show you a couple of cards, and then we'll get started with making a card and things. So basically, the technique is being able to add that foil texture to your cards and that shine. So this is one of the first cards I made. So I don't know if you can see, but in the background, I have stamped those kind of leaves in Secret Sea. So it's just sort of a bit of a shadow. And then we've got this foil over it, which is very cool. And I've added ribbon, and that sentiment was from one of the foils dies that I had, this one here. where it cuts out lots of little sentiments, and I've added a bit of ribbon. Now I felt maybe I needed a bit of a border on it, so then I thought, okay, let's try it with just a subtle white border. Same kind of card, but it does have a little bit of, that white border showing through. Okay. And then I took it another step and thought, oh, it'd be quite nice if I had a gold border. So this is what I did, and I created this card. So we've gone for old olive, and I've gone for a gold border. And I'm going to give you a tip so you can maximize. So this is foil sheets, which is different from the short foil dies. Okay, and then I've done my sentiment, which is one of these larger ones as well. Okay, so I don't want this to turn off too soon. So let us get started, and we'll do some foiling. So what I'm going to do is stamp in the background of my piece first. So I'm going to use the stamp, and it is quite a large stamp. So I've actually used the stamping positioner to stamp it first. So I've used two-tone cardstock, so I'm going to use the darker. I've actually made it a little bit bigger than I need. Then I can trim it down if I wanted to. And I need some ink. So I'm going to use Old Olive, going to keep it monochromatic. So I'm going to ink that up and stamp it. Now I need to make sure that I go right to the edges because it is quite a big stamp. Okay, now I've gone a little bit on the plate, but because I am pressing it down and I can't rock it, it will be fine. So I'm just going to move that slightly. So line it up in the holes and then press it down. So this has got enough stamping foil system. It's just another tool that we have, but quite good for stamping with. Did that work? That's pretty good. It's quite dark, but I think it will dry a little bit lighter. So let's take that out. Now we get to do the fun part of the foiling. Right, let's put that aside. And actually, I might give that a wipe now, because if I don't, I'll probably drop something on it and get ink everywhere. So I'm just using my shimmy to give that a wipe. And close up my ink pad as well. All right, so let's move this over where you can see, and I'll show you what you need to do. So we're going to use that big die I had before. So I can put it on fine because it's not hot yet. Going to put that on. Then we need some foil. So actually I should have cut this first. So I'm going to get this out. So it's slightly wider than my card. But I'm going to cut that sort of length. So I'm going to use my trimmer to work out how long I want. And what I can do is carefully just tuck it under here. I mean, you could estimate, but we'll do it like this. Try not to crinkle it or whatever, so it gives it the best look it can have. All right. So we've put our die down. Oh, we better bring this to. I'm going to put my foil face down so we don't see the coloured side. Then I need my cardstock. So we're not lining up, we're just putting it down, and it's going to have that foil somewhere in the background. So that's face down also. Then I'm going to put on my green plate, which is the shim, and then the spacer. And I'm going to push my button. And it's going to now, don't know if you can quite see, so it's changed and it's flashing orange. So I need to wait about a minute and a half for it to heat like it should. And then it will go green, and I know that it's ready to take off. And then what you need to do once you take it off is we need to put that pressure on it. So we're going to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and run it through, obviously after we've taken it, turn the power off. Now this is designed warranty-wise to fit through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So if you use it with something else, then the warranty doesn't stand as such. And also this fits nicely into the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but it's actually slightly too wide for the big shot. So if you've got a big shot, this won't fit. You'll need the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So just so that you're aware for that. Maybe you've been wondering about getting one. Now's a good time to invest in a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to bring it up ready. Now I don't need any other plates and things, because it's all here ready to go. So there is a little bit of waiting while it does its thing with heating and stuff, but you know, once you get into a flow and you know how things are working, you're all good. And we're, you know, heated up initially and things. We just got to let that foil, you know, kind of stick, and then we add that pressure. Brilliant, it's gone green. So now I'm going to unplug it. It's magnetic, so I just need to pull it, and then I'm going to move that away. Right, so I'm leaving it as it is. That sandwich, just make sure the plates are lined up. Just careful, because obviously it is a bit warm underneath, but whatever. And then we're going to slowly put it through. The important thing is slow. Okay, you don't want to race it through, otherwise the foil doesn't have enough time to push against. And it's not a hard winding through. All right, I'm going to put it back on here again just to be sure. Let's have a look. We're going to take these off. Take this off. There's our dough. Now that is hot, so if we want to take it off, we pick it up, put it over here, push the button and release. Now I'm going to gently peel some of this off. Look at that. Beautiful. That way around. Isn't that lovely? That is so cool. And that shimmer and things is awesome. Very good. All right, we're going to do a sentiment while we're here. And I'm going to do that in the gold, but on Secret C. So I'm going to plug this in. So it will need to heat up again a little bit more, but we'll get our other pieces ready to go and work out what we're going to do. And then I'll put the card together. All right, so I should have a piece of... so we're going to use, I'll do a happy birthday and I'll do a thank you perhaps, and then we will, is it going to fit? Yeah. So that and that. So we need a small piece of foil to fit on there. Probably. So you can cut it with scissors, or we can measure and use our trimmer. I just like that nice crisp edge. So what I'll do is I will measure, move that out of the way, the width of this. So this is about 10. So I'm going to cut this at 10. All right, I'm going to put that back in the box just so it protects it and keeps it all good. And I know where to find it. All right, so that's still flashing, so it's still heating up. So obviously in between using it, each time we do need to wait for it to heat up, but that's all good. And then we'll be able to do our next layer. All right. I mean, if I want to, I can kind of put these on. Just going to work out. So when I'm placing them, obviously, actually, if I do it that way, then it'll be a bit more. I don't want them too close together. Oh, there we go. So put that down and that down. I'm just going to make sure that's going to fit. Just going to bring that down a fraction. Still make sure that's going to fit. Yep. We're good. All right, so put that. Then we need our foil. So we're using gold. So we need to have the gold facing down. Put that down. Then we're going to have our, I've used two-tone cardstock for this. You can use two-tone, you can use normal. Obviously, it's a little bit thinner than normal cardstock, so you can have a play around and see what you like. Then we're going to put on our shim, and I'll do it the other way, and our plate, and I'm going to turn it on and wait for the orange light to go green. Now, in the instructions, there's slightly different ways of doing it, but I've seen it done this way too, where you, what do? You put the die on, and then you do the beeps, and then you add the plates afterwards. So either or, as long as you're giving it some time. Once the dies need to heat up, so that foil will, you know, push through and things. So about 1.5 minutes we wait for this. And then as well, we'll get our dies to cut out our shape at the end as well. So let me get that ready. So what did I have? A thank you and a happy birthday, I think. Where are they? Whoops, there goes the camera. So we are going to use, so that's the happy birthday one, which we'll use and then we will get our machine up and do some putting it through and pressing on it. All right, there we go, we're good. So we're going to unplug it first. There we are. And just move that there, bring up our machine. So keep all these plates on. Just make sure that they're level and straight, not hanging out the side, because we don't want to damage them. And slowly, very important, slowly wind it through. All right, there we go. Let's have a look. So there is another step to this one. Lift it up. Okay, let's have a look. Peel it off. Oh, my happy birthday is a little bit closer to the bottom. That's a shame. That's the only thing you can't quite see. I guess because the foil was longer, I didn't quite realize. We'll use the thank you and I'll try and make the happy birthday work somehow, but we learn these things. So I don't want to be too generous with the foil, because then we can't, you know, see what it's covering or not. So remember, I can pick up my dies and put them over here and let them all down. Now we're going, I'll just cut the thank you for now. So we've got to bring our machine back, and it's just like normal die cutting for this. All right, so bring up your machine and your plates. And we're going to put this through, and I'm missing the one that goes on the top. So I just need, oh, there it is. No. So this one here to line it up. You may want to use a little bit of tape or something to hold it in place so it doesn't move. And then we will put that through the machine, and we're all good. All right, so we're winding this through. So this is just like your normal die cutting. And look at that, beautiful. Okay. All right, we'll just leave that over there so I know where it is. Put all my dies together. Okay, let's make our card. So we've got all the bits that we need for it now. We have this and we have this. Now I've purposely made that a little bit bigger, and I'm going to trim it down. So I'll get my trimmer. And where is my piece of gold? So I'm using gold foil sheets. So they are the thick gold sheets that we've had for a while. They're different from these foil sheets, which are quite flimsy. Whereas the, I guess you could call them the hot foil rolls, are quite flimsy, whereas the other ones are very thick and sturdy. So I've got it here. So if you compare it, you know, it's very solid. It's cardboard-like, whereas this is quite different. Okay, so I need to cut this down a little bit. So I'm going to cut some off the bottom just because I wasn't quite sure of the placing. I can trim it how I like. So we'll try this, but we might need to trim a bit more. I want a bit of a gap around, but you're only just seeing it. I'd like to see a little bit more. So let's take a couple more mils off. And let's see now. Now, if you're thinking, oh my goodness, what a waste of all that gold, don't panic. I am not going to waste that gold. It's slightly bigger now than what I had on the other card, but that's okay. So I'm going to keep this middle piece because I could use it for something. So you could put a rectangle die in there and cut it out, or we can just kind of make our own. Doesn't have to be perfect rectangle. You obviously need something around the edging because you need the border, but we don't need all that stuff. All right, so we've kind of made a frame. So this I can use to die cut something else. And then we're just going to adhere this to here. and then no one would know that that's missing on the back. But why not? You don't want to waste, particularly these gold foil sheets, because you only get them 2 in a pack. Okay, let's adhere this together like so. And then we're going to put that on a Secret C card base. Nice. But before we do, I did add a little bit of ribbon around. Now, with this card, I had happy birthday and it kind of went underneath. Thank you is quite narrow and I wasn't sure if I liked it. So I'm going to try something different. Someone made the suggestion of why don't we do ribbon this way. So that's what I'm going to try. So what I'm going to do is put a bit of tape top and bottom to hold it in place. So I'm not sure if this is current ribbon or not, but I do love it, and it's on the wrong side. It's nice and it goes with the gold, but you might want to use Secret C ribbon or something like that. So we're going to go down like this, trim it off, and just adjust it, and then I'm going to tie a little knot in there, so not too long, and then we'll put our sentiment on the bottom. So you don't have to add the ribbon, but I just thought it might be quite nice to add something else to it if I cut it too small to tie up. We'll soon find out. Oops, actually it's going to go long ways, which actually is fine, and I'm just going to trim this side to make them about the same length. Very good. Now it's stuck to my surface area. That's actually quite nice. So I think it was Sheila who made that suggestion in my original live before I had to re-record. So thank you. Was it Sheila? I'm not sure, whoever it was. Oh no, somebody did anyway, so thank you. I like that idea. And then we're going to put our thank you down here. Awesome. So we're going to use some mini dimensionals for that. Definitely like that idea. Okay. I always go across the bottom. So what a nice idea to go down. All right, there we go. If I had darker ones, then they'd be a little bit more hidden. But if I hopefully position them all right, you're not going to see them underneath. You can get black dimensionals, which is quite good if you are adhering a darker area, because obviously you can see the white there. Like so. Excellent. I do like that. All right. So let's have a look at the cards we've got. And I'm going to show you some others as well. So that was my first. And this one, which I didn't like so much, but I definitely like the ribbon that way. What do you like? What's your favorite? That is so cool. Now there is, you'll notice, a little bit of rubbing there. I haven't tried this, but I have heard using an eraser kind of works, but I'm not sure. So I'll have to give that a try, and then I can let you know if that works as well. So there it is in the old olive with the Secret C, and I'll show you those cards I made earlier, just with the Secret C and a little bit of white. I also had a play with doing some vellum. So that is the sentiment on vellum, but I was like, well, now how am I going to adhere it without seeing? I guess I could sponge it, but then I wasn't sure. Looks effective, but I haven't quite decided how I can use it. I also had a play with pink. Did you see that pink foil earlier? So here is the pink. So first of all, I had to go on the white, and I stamped some blushing belly blush in the background. Again, I've got some around the edges. I'll have to see if that can come off. And then I tried it on the belly blush, a stamping in the background and that too. I haven't used them yet, but that's the pink, which is quite cool. So silver, gold, and pink are the 3 foil colors we've got at the moment, but I'm sure over time more will be coming soon. So keep an eye out for those. So what are your thoughts on the hot foil machine? So remember, if you purchase it, you get the mat with the foil machine. It's warm, but it's not hot now. You get the shim and the spacer. You get the mat to put your hot dies on. And you also get this for lifting your dies. Plus, of course, you get your power lead to plug it all in. And remember, that is magnetic. So you literally have to just hold it and it lines up and clicks in. But I'm going to turn it off for now. All right, so that is the machine, 337 New Zealand dollars. And then you'll need to get some foil, gold, pink or silver at the moment, and some dies to use with it. Okay, so remember, some of the dies are like the words that you can then cut out. Some of them are like this, and you could just buy that die on its own, or you can coordinate it with the stamp, which is what I did. Okay, and there's other ones that are foils for words and then cutting it out. And then this one, which I'm going to play with, is the butterflies, which foil and then cut out. And then there's sponging as well for colouring it, which is very cool. So lots of possibilities with this. Now I want to let you know, because I'm meant to purchase the foil machine because it's not cheap, and then you've got your dies. So if you are keen on it but you're not sure, have you ever considered being a Stampin' Up demonstrator? Because if you do, there are lots of perks of being a demonstrator. Obviously, you're going to get a discount and things. So if you sign up, it costs you $210, and you get a welcome pack, which has got some goodies inside, some things for you to play and use. Plus, they send you a $290 coupon code. So when you place your first order, you take $290 off. So you don't have to decide straight away exactly what you want. You can sign up and then you can place your order. And if you want to spend more, great, you get $290 off. And anything extra that goes towards your quarterly minimums to help you stay current. So that's a really great deal and a great way. So you could, if you were thinking about this machine, you could consider joining, and then you'd get that $290 to spend, and you would get a discount on what you buy beyond that as well. And also, a lot of people join for the discount, but then a lot of people stay because of the community, the people, the experiences, the inspiration, all that kind of thing. So often people will stay because of those opportunities. So have a think. Now you might be thinking, I don't want to do classes. I don't want to do lives. I don't want to run a business. You don't need to. If you want to, great. If you just want to buy for yourself, or maybe get the odd order from someone, you can, as long as you meet your minimums, and I can tell you about that. But anyone can sign up. You can see how it goes and if it's for you. Okay, so feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in finding more about joining, particularly if you're interested in the hot foil machine. And of course, if you don't want to sign up, you don't want the hassle, then you can just buy it if you're interested in it too. That is fine as well. So in the past, you may have remembered a few months ago, I offered my In Colour Club. So we're now, I think, into the third month of this, where you get an ink pad, an ink refill, some cardstock, the embellishments, the dots and the butterflies, some ribbon, a sample of the ribbon, half a pack of cardstock, a card made by me in your In Colour, plus some of that shimmer paper. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. There is some two-tone cardstock in there, like what I used today, which has got the darker and the lighter colour. Hiding in here is, so usually it is I cut it to a 6x12 for easier posting. And then it's got some of the designer series paper, which is 12x12. So you get a 6x12 of those. So I'm doing another round. If you missed out signing up back in May and you'd like to take part, I'll start the 5 months from now. It's $85 a month plus shipping. And you can sign up and be part of this second round of the In Colour Club, which is a great way of slowly building up your ink colours. And it's these new ink pads, the magnetic ones. I haven't got an open one in here, which are so much easier to use. So if you're interested in the In Colour Club, let me know, reach out to me. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is my July online exclusive paper shares. I've done paper shares before for the catalogue. This one, there's just 4 new papers in there. We've got the Violet Dreams, a Stitched Season, I think it's Frightfully Fun, Halloween, and then this kind of stripy paper here too. So you get a 1/4 share of those. They'll be cut to a 6 by 12. A great way of sampling the new papers. Now, if you're not into Halloween, remember some of the designs are stripes or greys and things. Some of them are cobwebby, but you can use them for other things, or you can just do the other 3. So it's $30 plus shipping if you needed me to send it to you, or if you don't want the Halloween, $24. Now, earlier in the year with the May catalogue, some of the papers were, well, a lot of the papers were so popular, some of them sold out, and I did my paper share, so several groups were sent out, but the last one was a little bit delayed. If you like these papers, I've still got 2 shares left. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. This is what a share looks like. I've cut it up into 6 by 12s, unless it's this, and it only comes in a 6 by 6. And you get a 1/4 share of all these different papers. And I label them so you know which one they're from. That one's got some sort of cutout shapes. And it's a great way of sampling all the different papers and having something to create with at home. So if you'd like to take part in this one, I've just got 2 left, $82 plus shipping if you would like this. So the first one's to sign up for this. We'll get that. Otherwise, I've got my July online exclusive one for you there too. Any questions, do let me know. So lots of information today. So let me know if you've got any questions. But if you're interested in this paper share, or the In Colour Club, signing up for our next round, I'm sure those that are getting it already are really enjoying it. Or maybe you're wondering about the hot foil machine. Maybe you weren't sure how it worked and if it's for you. It's lots of fun, lots of potential. Look at these wonderful cards. I've literally had a play today, and these are some of the cards and things that I have made. And then had a little play with pink, so I can make these into some cards too. So lots of possibilities. So if you'd like to know more, or you would like to even think about joining up, whether it's just, you know, for fun for yourself, or you want to do more, you can make it suit you. And remember, it's not just the discount, it's the community as well. I've got my team. We're doing a card swap for those who want to do a card swap and other things. So it's lots of fun. All right. So thank you for watching.